Hi, my name is Daniela. I was recently at my father's wedding. Somehow, I was the one who started this whole affair. Dad and I have always lived together. I don't have a mother. My dad said that she left us when I was only 1 month old. She fed me for the night, then went into the kitchen and disappeared. My father was looking for her for a long time. He thought that something had happened. He even turned to the police, but it was all useless. And then, about 6 months later, she sent him a letter saying that she was alive and well, but she could not muster the courage to admit to him that she wanted to live another life. She did not dare to say this to him in person, so she wrote it, only half a year too late. My father went crazy the first few days because he did not know how to deal with a baby, what and how to feed me, how to change my diaper. Then he was advised to hire a nanny. We came across a good nanny. She raised me for many years until she died. I managed to grow up with her. She taught me everything, how to cook, how to clean, and take care of myself. I loved her very much. When the nanny was gone, all the house chores fell on my shoulders, and it turned out to be so much harder than I could have ever imagined. I went to school and I had to run home after it to have enough time to clean up, cook dinner, and do my homework. It was so hard for me to combine all these things. Dad didn't have the money to hire a housekeeper yet, so we lived like that. After a while, someone advised my father to marry. She'd be a 3-in-1 type of deal, a wife, a mother for his daughter, and then a mistress to the house. I understood that my dad was still young, but I was not ready for him to marry someone. I hoped that things would get better at his work and he would hire a housekeeper for us. I'm just not used to living with someone else. I was fine with my old life. And the very idea that a new mistress will appear in the house, a face that I will have to see every day, a woman I might not have a good relationship with, how would I live like this? I don't know what having a mom feels like, and I did not want to know. But of course, my father liked this option, and he began to actively get to know women, go on dates, invite them home for dinner. A woman who accepted his life and his daughter was a good candidate to him. But for me, that was not the only thing to consider. He used to bring them over so that they could get to know me right away. Ugh, I hate remembering that. One of the first ones was Nina. She came from Russia. She was the same age as my dad, tall, skinny, beautiful, and very bitchy. I had the thought that she wanted to marry my dad just to get a citizenship. Why else? She did not look at him with a loving gaze, and she looked at me as if I were an annoying insect. She came to our house in a tight mini black dress with high heels. Yes, she was clearly preparing to get my dad. Her intentions were not pure. I saw through her. I just needed to tell my father, but for a long time he did not believe me, resisted, said that this was all just childish jealousy that would soon pass. In all our life, we never fought with him, and when Nina appeared, everything changed. It seems that we even managed to fight more in that period than in our entire life together. Since it was useless to persuade my father, I decided to act independently. Nina talked to Dad, and they decided that it was time for them to move in together. Yes, the news shocked me and almost killed me, but I decided to control myself and to act slowly. The day when she brought all her suitcases to us, she will remember forever. While she and Dad were paying for the delivery, I poured petrol all over her things and set them on fire. Wow, they burned like a Christmas tree. Yes, I got punished for that, but it was worth it. You should have seen her face. And then every day I did something new. I would clean the toilet with her toothbrush, or mix her creams, or give her new shoes to the neighbor's dog, and I once even cut a whole bun of her hair while she was sleeping. It was horrible. Dad and I fought a lot, but I won in the end, and she disappeared. This is what I was waiting for, and so it was like that with every woman. My poor father, what only did he not do to me? He scolded and yelled at me, but I still did it my own way, explaining to him that he did not understand women at all. Just don't think I did not want him to be happy. I just wanted a good, decent woman for him. And then the school year began. Miss Jens was a new literature teacher at school. I've always been bad at that subject. Due to the situation in my family, including my dad's many women, I hardly had time to read. Miss Jens, like all the other teachers, did not scold me. For some reason, she was eager to help me. When the end of the school quarter was near, she told me that my grades had to be improved, and she offered to help me. When I asked why she was so kind to me, she just said that she liked me. "My mom left me too," she said. Miss Jens volunteered to study with me after school. We read together, and I talked about or wrote essays on the books that I read. I have never loved literature so much in my life as I did then. We studied 3 times a week, and I enjoyed it. A month later, she decided to arrange a small trip to the museum for our whole class so that we finally understand what the classics were all about. All that was required was a permission from the parents, and of course my dad forgot to sign it. Naturally, I was really upset, and Miss Jens told me that she could take me under her own responsibility if my father allowed it. I gave her his number and she talked to him for a couple of minutes. "He agrees," she said with a smile. I almost lost my mind with happiness. It was an amazing day, and at the end she took me home. Dad opened the door. Their eyes met and they were silent for a couple of minutes. Well, of course, Miss Jens is very beautiful, modest and smart. Dad thanked her for taking care of me. I saw a spark between them. It was amazing. Wasting no time, I invited her to have tea with us, but she refused. My father did not insist. He hesitated. She told him that she was having a book evening at school and invited him. My dad came there all excited. We did short scenes from a couple of famous novels. Then we went to have tea with the classmates and their parents and Miss Jens. I sat my father next to her so that they could chat more. When it was over, I offered to give her a ride home because I saw that my dad liked her and it seemed that their feelings were mutual. I imagined what kind of a mom she would be, especially since we got on so well. Miss Jens shyly refused, although it was evident that she wanted it. I did not understand what was going on, but then a guy came up and greeted my father. "This is Bill, my boyfriend," she said quietly. "What?" I got so angry. I saw my father's upset face, took him by the hand and led him out of the classroom. At home, I decided to talk to him. I saw that he liked her and I added that I would like to see them together. Dad said that she was taken and he had no right to start anything. That's how it always is. When you need men to be decisive, they just don't do anything. And so I decided to take matters into my own hands. The first thing I had to do was to break up Miss Jens and her boyfriend. Turns out that he was a pretty sketchy guy. Judging by his Instagram, he loved attention because he worked as a model. He definitely has a dark side to him, I thought to myself. I asked my older friend who was a waitress to help. It turned out that the guy often went to that bar. Lily agreed to film him for $50 and we won the jackpot that same evening. "Yes, he's a real douche. He didn't miss any skirt," said Lily. "We all know him here." I sent this video anonymously to Miss Jens's email and waited. The next day she came to school upset with puffy eyes. Yes, I did it, I thought. Yes, I was embarrassed on one hand, but I did it all for the good. Then it was my father's turn. I told him that they broke up and always told him to come to school. He came almost every day and talked to her, but she was very cold. Probably a month passed that way and my father was tired of this and said that nothing would work out. Then I invited Jens on my behalf to the cinema to see her favorite romantic film. She was surprised, but I said that I also wanted to see it. Miss Jens came to the cinema the same evening my dad came. Yes, I arranged a date for them. They of course guessed everything and wanted to go home, when suddenly my teacher saw her ex with a new girl. Only a couple of weeks had passed and he was not sad at all. My father, without hesitation, took her and kissed her before his eyes. As he walked by, Miss Jens pulled away from him in shock. Dad apologized many times and in the end she forgave him. And they decided not to go to the movie. They thought it was better to just take a walk. They talked a lot that evening and they got to know each other very well. Dad came home happy and relaxed. I understood everything just by looking at him. So they started dating and I was really happy for them. Another month passed. Miss Jens often came to our house. We looked almost like a family, but the echoes of the past made themselves felt. Her ex got mad after seeing their photos with my dad. It turns out that he was supposed to marry her. He hated my father and decided to do nasty things to both of them. Thanks to his connections, he hired some reporters and made crazy headlines about her, ruining her reputation. He told them about their long relationship and accused her of cheating on him with my father. Without hesitation, Dad went to the bar where the model loved to go and punched him as he deserved. Oh, it was a huge scandal. The crazy turned to the press again, and then Dad and Miss Jens did the same thing. They gave comments on their part. Dad talked honestly about his feelings, and then he proposed to her right in front of the reporters. It was amazing. I did not know that he was such a romantic. The noise and the gossip died over time, and our family finally healed. I could not wish for anything more. Thank you for watching till the end. If you like this story, then press the like button and don't forget to subscribe.